Have you experienced splash of chilled water on your face, excitement and thrill, and absolute aliveness all at the same time? Well, river rafting in Ganga, Rishikesh does just that for you. Hi, this is Neeti Keswani for Luxury Unplugged podcast, and today I'm taking you to Rishikesh. So, this was a plan on the whim to visit this amazing destination which apparently has attracted so many avid travelers in the last few years. And in this podcast, I intend to see what's in there for you and why it should be on your to-do list, on your travel bucket list when you visit India. You see, it has suddenly seemed to transform from this mystical, religious, spiritual destination to this must-visit river rafting destination for all those who have just stepped into college. So why is Rishikesh famous? Well, Rishikesh is commonly referred to as the yoga capital of the world, and rightly so. The destination is abuzz with visitors who come here to learn yoga and meditation. The town is also a hot spot for river rafting enthusiasts from all over the world. Nestled in the lap of the Himalayas, Rishikesh offers breathtaking views of the mountains and the river Ganges. And I like to call it Ganga. If you're looking to escape the hustle and bustle of the city life, Rishikesh is the perfect place for you. The town has a very laid-back vibe, and the people here are extremely friendly. There are plenty of cafes and restaurants that offer delicious vegetarian food. And if you're looking to connect with your spirituality, it is the perfect place for you. The town has numerous temples and ashrams that offer a variety of spiritual experiences. Aarti near Ganga is a must-do activity when you're in Rishikesh. The experience is truly magical and it will leave you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. Overall, Rishikesh is an amazing place that has something for everyone. Whether you're looking to relax and unwind or seeking an adventure, you'll find it all here. So what are you waiting for? Pack your bags and head to Rishikesh today. So, which month is best for Rishikesh? Well, from October to February are the perfect months to visit Rishikesh. The temperatures around 19 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius, and despite the slight chill, this season is ideal for rafting and many travelers often visit Rishikesh during this time. What should I wear in Rishikesh? Well, it's going to be mostly sunny in Rishikesh and one may find it somewhat nippy at night, so it's better to carry clothes accordingly. A jacket is advisable for the evenings for river rafting. Do carry comfortable clothing such as t-shirts, shorts, track pants, whatever you're comfortable in. But do remember, the waters are going to be absolutely chilly. So where do we stay in Rishikesh? Now there are three properties that I'm going to talk about. One is Aloha in the Ganges, Rishikesh. Another is Ananda in the Himalayas. Third one is Ganga Kinare. It is a riverside boutique hotel. Now, Aloha on the Ganges is an upscale property offering colorful rooms and apartments, plus different dining options, spa and yoga classes. Ananda in the Himalayas is a luxury resort. It is set amid 100 acres of forest offering Ayurvedic treatments and yoga sessions. Ganga Kinare, however, is a boutique hotel on the banks of the Ganges with a restaurant and a nice view. Well, we decided to stay in Aloha on the Ganges. Going by the reviews, it was considered the best hotel in Rishikesh, and we surely were not disappointed. It was just having the perfect setting next to the Ganges you could actually feel not only the nip in the air at night, but during the day, you could hear the roar of the Ganga as it swiftly passes through just next to the hotel. Now, meandering in the bylanes of this destination is not for everybody in Rishikesh. But if you do so, you're not going to be disappointed. Why? Because there are local shops that sell more than just souvenirs, cafes that give competition to the hookah bars in Paris, and yum cuisines for the foodies. And of course, not to miss the one in a lifetime river rafting experience in the Ganges. There's a word of caution here. There are varied levels of river rafting experiences ranging from 8 kilometers to 25 kilometers and more. But if you are absolutely new to the sport, you have never done it, and you're doing it for the first time in your life, and you get shivers just looking at the mighty Ganges, then I suggest that you go with the flow, which is the modest one, which is 8 kilometers stretch, which we took, and we really loved it. So what they do is that they drive you all the way up to Shivpuri, and then from there you ride on this rubber raft, which is strong and sturdy and on the sandy sill that has gathered. But as soon as you're about to step into the Ganges, your heartbeat increases. So the first thing when you arrive for rafting experience is that you are asked to put on your safety gear. You are asked to put on your safety gear, which includes a life jacket and a helmet. Then your trainer gives you some vital safety instructions, because river rafting is not easy. It is crucial to follow these instructions carefully to the T. We also kept all of our belongings in a waterproof bag so they would not be ruined. So before beginning, we were asked if anybody had any medical conditions that could be harmful to them if they're taking this adventure sport. Because if you're not physically fit, this sport is not recommended. Now, as the raft draws into the water, you start feeling the might, the strong flow of the river. And your guide, your coach, he has done this several times. So he reminds you that this is not your amusement park. You have to align with what you're about to do. You have to understand what rafting means, and you have to step into it at your own risk. And then some hearty ones specify that how they have done it several times, and this experience is amazing. And the thrill and the excitement of river rafting draws you in. And then your ride begins. Now, you might have noticed till now that I was pretty scared, but I still went with the flow and really thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Not because the risk was less or the thrill was too high, but because I had opted for it knowingly and trusting that I will be safe. Somehow I had this feeling it will be an awesome memory forever. But now, let me make you see the waves, the splashes of water in the jackets, and the laughing and the giggling, and the thrill and the excitement. How we are all snuggled in together, and how the guide is directing all of us. Now, in this entire 8-kilometer stretch, this rafting experience, we were having, all that heart-pounding experiences all throughout, giggling away, laughing at our fears, possibility of the raft turning over completely, but understanding, managing, listening to his instructions at all times. When he told us you have to start rowing, we would do that with full vigor and vitality. And when he would tell us stop rowing, we would just follow his instructions completely. But then there are points in the Ganga where these coaches, these guides know about, where they know exactly when the high wave is going to come at you. And the first time I saw that, the first huge wave, my heart pounded so hard that I felt it was going to come out only. And I could not help but scream loud and louder and louder. And as my eyes closed tightly, it turned out to be a joyful experience because we were smooth over the wave. We just glided over it. And then, few steps ahead, another followed. Another followed. Another followed. So there are a couple of those kind of waves that build up the excitement, the thrill of river rafting. And as we are in swift flow of the Ganges, there are several rapids like that, several waves like that, but not every wave is so deadly in this particular stretch. So you enjoy it like a joyride, yet you keep your mind sane by thinking and knowing that this is the real deal. This is the mighty Ganga. And chanting Har Har Gange absolutely helps, because the chant instantly fills us with power. And it seems that Ganga rejoices with us. And soon that high rapids turn into the lower ones, and then you reach the smooth waters, and then another adventure awaits us at that point of time, because your guide then tells you that why don't you just jump into the waters? And we were like, what? You see, towards the end, when you're about to get off the raft, just a few steps before that, when you just reach the last rapid, or sometime around that, your guide says that you could go into the water, you could jump into the Ganga, because you are basically tied up, you are holding on to a rope at all times, you're wearing a lifeguard jacket and all, so you would not have any trouble really. You would float, that is the promise. So, but it takes guts, it takes a lot of willpower to get yourself into jumping into the Ganga when you don't know the depth of it. You can only imagine that is immensely deep. And what if you just jump and you go deep into the water? I mean, this is something which a scary cat is talking about. But I anyways went ahead and still did it. I was the last one amongst the girls to jump in, but surprisingly some of the men still could not gather enough courage to do just that, to take a dip in the Ganges. Anyways, so coming back to me, the moment I jumped in, holding the rope of course, the freezing cold water seemed to instantly banish my thoughts, fears, and what had been holding me up till then. I just let loose and gave in to the Ganga. And the love and respect that I have for the mighty river seemed to return to me as I felt her soft nudge of chilled water, as if telling me it's all okay. You are safe, nothing to worry. And as those moments faded away, the trainer guided us to climb back into the boat, and the water had already become smooth and flowy, and we were just swiftly, calmly dropped at the side of the Ganges. So the sides of the Ganga have developed certain silvery sands, and when your feet touch those sands, you are moving on the silt beach that has been formed. You are still feeling enthralled by the majestic Ganga. You see, nature is abundant and magnificent and massive and mighty, and when you experience it in its full glory, it is a humongous experience. It is once in a lifetime experience, but something that leaves you absolutely zapped with what just happened. You see, nature in all its glory shows us the love and blessings that it has for us to respect it, and reminds us perhaps that we need to save the soil, save the nature, or just go about it as carelessly as we've always been, and then let it go and see it fade away. The choice is all ours. While all of these thoughts of mine were just going on in the back of my head, my thoughts got interrupted. There's a Maggie experience in Ganga Banks, the noodle experience. After the mighty adventure, as you are drifting across slowly to the sides, you see this guy standing there with nice warm noodles brimming, and you feel like having that cuppa because you are cold and you are wet and you want to get some warmth. And what is better than having a cup of noodles, Maggie for some, which just gives you that, chicken soup for the soul perhaps. So this guy in the shacks was making very tempting Maggie, and all of us had just this awesome adventure, thought nothing better than having a full bowl of goodness. Sitting there on the banks of the Ganga, having this bowl of noodles and enjoying the experience by splashing my legs still into the waters, I feel that Ganga has something for everybody. And you just become more thoughtful, more peaceful, calmer when you are in the midst of abundance of nature like that. Now our hotel was very close to the river banks, so we just had to literally take a short walk to the hotel because you could literally see it from the banks. And just reached there in 5 minutes and just had a nice awesome lunch at the hotel and went off and slept nicely in our cozy beds. But the evenings are even more heavenly, and I'll tell you why. Because as we make our way to the main halls and the Ganges side courtyards, the gardens are abuzz with gongs and bells and chants and hymns. It turns out it is Ganga aarti time, and people are making a beeline to experience this serene scene. And obviously, we are also not disappointed, because as we make our way to the gardens, we witness peace, tranquility, and love amidst the buzz of the town. And the hills in the background, they look just like gigantic figures that have stood still to witness Ganga aarti. The diyas and the candles and the magnificence of the aromas of the deep, and the chants and the hymns, the overall tranquil experience just makes your overall Rishikesh experience as the go-to destination, must go-to destination for all the avid travelers. So did you see how I blended my luxurious experience with spirituality? Did you see how Luxury Unplugged is truly about feel-good stories of travel, luxury stays? So if you are looking for an adventure-filled vacation, Rishikesh is the perfect place for you. From river rafting to rock climbing to your own portion of peace and tranquility, there is no shortage of things to do in this city. So what are you waiting for? Pack your bags and head to Rishikesh. Until next time, keep tuning in to Luxury Unplugged, where luxury meets spirituality. Signing off, this is Nidhi Keswani.